All right, everybody, who is ready for a brand new DC update? Yes, it's been almost a week since my last update, but I will give you guys a health update at the end of this video for people who don't want to hear it at the beginning. But I had what I thought was going to be my last surgeon's visit today. And I will talk about that at the end of the video for anybody who is interested. But I have a lot of DC stuff to talk about today. The biggest being, we found out this morning exactly why the Batman 2 has been delayed. And yes, it is because of James Gunn. And I did talk about this in a past video. And if somebody can go find it and tell me and give me the link to the video, I make so many videos, there's no way I could find it. But if you can find the video and you remember what video I talked about this in, I would love to share that with the rest of my audience. But it is because of James Gunn, and we're going to see what he did. And again, it's dirty politics by studio CEOs, and I do believe it's an attempt to push Reeves out and get him so irritated that he gives up. But I have a lot of stuff to look at because since my last video, like literally right after I did my last video, Warner Brothers' YouTube page got yanked down. It got hacked, and it was pulled down for more than a day. It did come back, but man, if these hackers could do this, please, hackers out there, release the Ayer cut. Come on, give us something that the fans, go find the Batgirl. These were the Batgirl was a tax write-off. So somebody please find Batgirl and just release it for the world. Like, come on, if you hackers could do this kind of stuff, give us something valuable. But we're going to take a look at a bunch of stuff that I have grabbed since my last update. So let's get started. First up, I thought this was interesting. This was published by Variety, and it says, in 2023, Warner Brothers Discovery launched its Diversity Digest, a quarterly update on the company's DEI efforts. But following the election of President Trump, the digest went silent. Last week, the feature was dropped from the company's DEI page. Now, Warner Brothers is thick with this stuff. I will tell you that my wife and I have just started watching The Pitt, and we're about 6 episodes in, and talk about woke crap thrown into shows, and it's not even done in a natural way. There's some very ridiculous things that Warner Brothers is doing with their content, and we'll see if the election of Trump changes these things or not. It looks like the Diversity Digest is the first thing to go, but we'll see if the movies change to go along with it. Just a quick update, I have an unboxing coming very soon. I did record it this last week, and I am eager to show you guys the unboxing of these two beauties. Now, this was reported last week, and there hasn't been any talk since this got released, but this is also from Variety. It says, Warner Brothers Discovery and DC Comics have moved to throw out a lawsuit over the copyrights to Superman in foreign territories, arguing the issue has already been exhaustively litigated. Now, we don't know that. According to what the Schuster, people put up, it sounds like there was something definitely in the contract that may not have been completely litigated. But we as the people don't know that for sure. We'll find out if a judge does throw it out. There hasn't been a ruling just yet. Mark Perry, the nephew of the late Superman co-creator Joe Shuster, filed the suit in January seeking to invalidate the studio's copyrights under the laws of the United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, and Ireland. This is an attempt to squeeze money from Warner Brothers. We don't know what's going to happen with this. I will keep you guys updated as more information gets released. Now, this is a little bit on the Batman 2. There's going to be a few things I'm going to talk about as we go through this. This is Robert Pattinson in a new interview with Technicart. He said, I'm going to shoot the Batman Part 2 after the Odyssey at the end of the year. I only have a vague idea of the script. Okay? So he is planning on filming this. I still don't believe that the Batman 2 is ever going to go into production. I will be surprised if it does. Okay? I'm not saying it's not going to. I have never said it is not going to get released. But I still have a suspicion that James Gunn is doing everything he can to make sure it never happens. We also found out something interesting from Snyder, Jeff Snyder, in regards to power play down there at Warner Brothers, and we're going to look at that today as well. Alan Ritchson has been all over social media for the last week talking about playing Batman and how he has said, you wouldn't even have to pay me to play the Batman in the DCU. And I do believe I have another grab of this, him talking about a little bit more in regards to his thoughts on Batman. If they cast him, this will get me a little bit excited to see the Batman film, as long as they don't make him silly. Now, it says, this is from Everything DCU. This comes from Daniel RPK. It says, DCU is currently casting a female character known as Caitlin Bates for Clayface. It is either gender-swapped iteration of Everyman or Killer Frost. We don't know which character it's going to be, but we will find out when the movie starts filming. So here we go. This is what was posted shortly after my last video. The DC YouTube channel has been hacked, seemingly by a middle school student. And it is pretty funny stuff. Yeah, it got yanked down completely. It showed this for a while, and then it got yanked entirely. Now, this had a lot of the gun fanatics out there really upset when this was posted. Jody's Corner was ticked off, and they were so upset that this happened that they were saying this was just going to be a cameo. But it says, Ray Fisher will reunite with Ben Affleck to star in his new kidnapping thriller, Animals. This is under him and his friend, why am I forgetting his friend's name? Their studio, which is releasing The Accountant 2 at the end of next month, which I am excited for. I really like the first movie, and him and Bernthal are going to be in The Accountant 2, and they are already writing The Accountant 3. So his movie studio is very busy making movies. Now, this comes from Scott Snyder. Now, I respect the crap out of this guy. His Batman stories over the last 10 to 15 years have been amazing, and his run on Absolute Batman is freaking incredible. I do respect his opinion, but he was watching a film that was being made. He didn't get to see the final product, and that's where I have issues. But this is his quote about Superman. He says, James has been incredibly supportive of all of us. He responds to DMs about stuff. He's always messaging us on how much he enjoys the comics. He's incredibly kind. He's at his core, at heart, a comic book fan. I was lucky enough to get to visit the set of Superman with some other creators back in May of last year in Atlanta. From what little we saw, Superman looks amazing. Now, he even admits they only saw a little bit. I can't say enough good things about what I think the movie is going to be and do and revitalize in terms of the superhero genre. You know, I really hope that's the case. I'm not one of those hoping that Superman fails, but I have yet to see anything that even gets me remotely excited about this movie. Everything from the crappy costume to the horrible behind-the-scenes reveals, and we have more that James Gunn released today, and I think are absolutely ridiculous. And we'll take a look at those towards the end of today's video. Now, I thought this was interesting. It says Garrett Dillahunt, William McCann, is suiting up for DC Studios' Lanterns. It says, good to see the kind and talented folks Fractured FX Inc. again for my latest project. You know I love tight rubber suits every once in a while. This one will fit like a glove. So it looks like he's getting fitted for, definitely for something going on with Lanterns. I was unaware that he was in the show. I don't know if I've reported on it before in the past. I don't remember that, if that is the case. But it is going to be cool. I like him as an actor quite a bit. Now, this was a pretty cool post by Jackie Earl Haley. The other day, it was Watchmen's 16th anniversary. He said, the coolest part I've ever had. Thanks, Zack Snyder. You rock. Yeah, and I would say that his role in that film was one to remember. One of the top 10 performances of all time. Him as Rorschach was just freaking awesome. Yeah. I loved, this was my favorite part too. None of you seem to understand. I'm not locked up in here with you. That scene was freaking amazing. Yeah. Great performance by Jackie Earl Haley, brought to life by Zack Snyder. So here's more information on Clayface. It says DC's Clayface film will reportedly start filming in June. It is set to release in theaters on September 11th, 2026. Script by Mike Flanagan, produced by Matt Reeves. Clayface was originally meant to be the villain of The Batman Part 2, before being reserved for his own project in the Reeves-verse, ultimately being retooled into a DC film. Okay, DCU film, I should say, under what do you call it? Under James Gunn's universe. Now, this is pretty crazy stuff, okay? I told people a long time ago, and like I said at the beginning of the video, somebody will know where this video is. But I talked about how wouldn't it be a kicker if we found out that Clayface was going to be the villain of Part 2, and James Gunn saw this and decided to rip that villain to make a film out of it so that it totally messed up Matt Reeves' script and he'd have to go in and retool it. And it seems like that's what's causing the biggest delay here, that he was going to be the main villain of the Batman Part 2, and then they had to come in and retool the whole thing because now he's not allowed to use Clayface. These are the kind of tactics, strong-arm tactics, that the CEOs do at Warner Brothers. And there is, according to Jeff Snyder, there is, like I said, an internal civil war going on at Warner Brothers, and it looks like they're going to be changing out some of the CEOs. And I think I grabbed a part of this. If I did not, I will actually pull up my Twitter account when I get towards the end and show you what I posted. Here's more on Alan Ritchson playing Batman. He says, I get asked every day if I'm playing Batman. Yeah. Would I play Batman? Yes. Would I pay handsomely to be Batman? You wouldn't even have to pay me to be Batman. I wouldn't. He goes, I would don the suit. Gotham is mine. Look at that. I don't even have to practice. It just comes out naturally. I think he would make a great Bruce Wayne, and he'd really have to bring his A game to play the Batman part. But he definitely has the physique and the look to play Bruce Wayne and a bulked up Batman. That is for sure. And he is great as Reacher on Amazon Prime. So it says Nicole Ari Parker from And Just Like That has been cast as Jon Stewart's mother, Bernadette, in Lanterns. And some people are speculating that Hal Jordan is going to have an affair with her. I think that's a joke, but you never know. Personally, I think she looks too young to be Aaron Pierre's mom, but, it is what it is. All right, so now we're over on Twitter here because I wanted to show you a couple of the behind-the-scenes photos today that James Gunn has released that I thought were absolutely crazy. And I wanted to show you guys something else. I don't know. It doesn't look like I grabbed part of it here. Where is it? Has to do with yes. So Jeff Snyder said, sources say something is up at Warner's. Will the industry keep recycling the same group of execs, or is it time for some fresh blood? And what I said in regards to this is that I bet you they are about to give Pam Abdy and Mike DeLuca the boot. How about getting rid of Safran instead? He has been directly responsible for all of the DCEU flops. But I bet you they're going to go after Pam Abdy and Mike DeLuca instead, the ones that have made Warner Brothers and the movie division successful. But that's who they're probably going to go after. Just wait. Okay? Now, let's look at the first behind-the-scenes photo that James Gunn released today. And here it is. So we have James Gunn. He is the one in the front. Okay? He's the one who has absolutely nothing covering him. There is nothing obstructing his view. He is front and center. But he was posting this for Pileggi, who is playing, Mr. Terrific. And it was supposed to be about a new look at that character. That character is like kind of camouflaged in here, right? But who do you see clearly? James Gunn. If you wanted to give a good behind-the-scenes photo at this character, give us an actual photo of the character, not something from the side, not something with a crew member covering up part of his head. And you have Lois Lane in the background there with a weird-looking microphone, and this these pants that she looks like she's standing kind of like she's uncomfortable. And why she would be dressed like that in the middle of the desert is weird. But hey, you know, we don't know what's happening in the film. We'll find out when it gets released. But again, James Gunn has to be in the photo. Like, that's ridiculous. And I thought it's kind of silly when he's trying to say it's someone else's, birthday, but then he's front and center. Just weird. Now, we also have this other photo here that he posted for the engineer. This is another behind-the-scenes photo. Now, first of all, the engineer is not supposed to look like this at all. She's supposed to be silver, and this is not the way she looks. And I remember everybody said when I first started posting photos with her well over a year ago, people said they'll fix it in post. They'll fix it in post. No, she's in a suit. There is no fixing that. Okay, guys? This is the way she's going to look. It's another piss-poor behind-the-scenes photo. None of these things get you excited for the film. Like, seriously. This is a Superman film, and they're not even promoting Superman himself. They're promoting the dog more than anything. They're promoting all the other characters. But what about promoting Superman? Seriously. And James Gunn said, "Happy anniversary to the engineer created by Warren Ellis and Brian Hitch, who you could see played to sinister perfection by puppy in human form, Gabby DeFaria in Superman this July." He reveals these like these are amazing reveals, and they're not. Also, somebody had posted about James Gunn not being respectful of source material, and I totally agree with this. Every one of these characters, they're nothing like their comic counterparts. James Gunn bastardizes every character he gets his hand on. And I would say the one that has been totally ruined is Vigilante in Peacemaker. That is a total, nothing like the character in the comic at all. At all. It's just crazy that people will praise him and he can get away with this. And nobody watched Creature Commandos and nobody watched Peacemaker, but whatever. All right, so going back to James Gunn and stealing the stuff for the Batman. You have to remember back when Reeves was really excited about expanding the Reeves-verse before James Gunn took over, there was going to be this Gotham PD show that turned into an Arkham show, and they were going to do the Batman 2 and some more spin-offs and the Batman 3. And then all of a sudden, James Gunn takes over, and you find out that James Gunn took the idea for the Arkham Asylum show and was going to put it in the DCU. So he keeps stealing stuff from Matt Reeves, which is not good for a partnership or for relations when you keep stealing something somebody was going to do for the benefit of what you want to do, and then barring them from using those things. And I believe that this is what is happening with Reeves. I believe he's getting pushed to the side. I believe that James Gunn is trying to make it so uncomfortable for him that eventually he just gives up. And that is a very real possibility. We already saw in my last video that Pattinson is getting annoyed by it taking so long. Now he is going to jump into the Odyssey, and then he does have the Batman 2 if it ever comes to fruition. But we'll see. It's just James Gunn and his CEO tactics. What do you think about the behind-the-scenes photos that were released, this revelation about him taking Clayface to make the movie and put it on the fast track so that Matt Reeves couldn't use it? What do you think about the shakeup down there at Warner Brothers and the possibility of losing people like Pam Abdi and Mike DeLuca, which would be like awful if that ever happened, but it is a very, very real possibility. All right, so to give you guys a quick update on my health here, I did have my 3-month update with my surgeon today. And just know that I'm currently still not walking normally. I can get around without a cane. It's not pretty. I do have quite a big limp, but the the surgeon who worked on me today did say that it looks like everything healed properly, but I am going to have lifelong issues because of this accident. And he does expect me to get back to walking to normal, but full function may take more than a year. It is a long recovery. The complexity of the surgery was at a 9, and I will definitely talk about that. I've got the x-rays of what they put inside my body, what they did to stabilize and heal me, and I will be showing that once the lawyers say I can talk about it on social media. I can give you quick updates on my health. I'm in the clear with everything else. I'm finally past all of the other things that, that occurred because of this complicated surgery, but I seem to be healthier and on the mend. I'm still not sleeping well. The worst part of this, I'm tired all the time because I wake up 15 to 20 minutes or 20 times at night because anytime I move, it hurts as I grow all of the muscles back in my leg. And that is going to be a long recovery. So I do have PT for at least another 2 to 3 months. And I will be going back to see the surgeons at least one more time. They want to see my progress. But he was impressed that I'm even walking around without a cane at this stage. So I'd seen other people online who were walking at 10 weeks, at 12 weeks, and I'm beyond that, and I'm still not walking normally. And he said, you cannot compare your accident with others. Your accident was horrific. It was really, really bad. But they do expect me to make a 100% full recovery. It's just going to take some time, but I will have lifelong issues because of the accident. But I'm going to let the lawyers deal with all of that. So I do appreciate the support, you guys. If you like the video, please hit the like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and you will be notified as I have new videos go up. We will see you on the next video.